Welcome to Roxtalks, the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. My name is Roxanne Wilson. And we have not done a dedicated episode to Reels in a while, and I feel like it's really time to do that. So we're going to dive in. One other thing I want to tell you, whether you've tried Reels, you want to try Reels, you're into Reels, this is really going to help you get some perspective on what you should be doing to really leverage Reels for your business. I think you'll enjoy it. We'll be right back. Did you know that every time that I talk about something like, Instagram Reels on a podcast is at your fingertips whenever you need it? Seriously. One of the little gems that people don't know is that actually the Roxtalks podcast has a database, a search engine where you can literally just type in the word. I know she talked about Reels that one time. When was it? And it will pop up every time, not just that one time, but every time. So you can go directly to it and get the information you want. And the best part about it is it's actually free. If you would like to get access to this super wonderful database of all the Roxtalks episodes at your fingertips, quick and easy, simply go to roxtalkspodcast.com and sign up to be on the list. Okay, we're going right into this because I'm just ready to get down and dirty with you on the Reels thing. Now, before we go into Reels and the state of Reels and what the best practices are for Reels for you to rock it right now, I want to let you know there's no dancing required, not only in this podcast, although I do love dancing, or in your Reels. So you can sigh there. There's also no pointing required in this podcast or when you do your Reels. So we can get those myths, we swing past those, but let's dive into it. So first of all, let me just go ahead and remind you of or refresh your memory of the history of Reels. Reels is about kind of 9 months, right around there. Came out around August time of 2020. And you might be going, wow, that's genius. How did they come up with that? Well, they came up with it because they took it from someone else. We must remember that Mark Zuckerberg, I like to call him Zucks, is a jealous lover. If that's the paradigm that we live in when it comes to social media, it makes everything pretty obvious, pretty clear. Your strategy is good to go. So he's a jealous lover. And if he didn't create it, he is going to either copy it or buy it. Ergo Instagram, arguably you say ergo Facebook, but ergo Instagram. What did he do with Instagram? He bought it, right? Let's look at Snapchat. He wasn't able to buy it, so he copied it. That's where Instagram and Facebook stories came from. And then enter TikTok. TikTok's growing, really popular. Everybody loves it. So what does he do? He learns about it. And rather than buying it, he copies it. And so that is where Reels was birthed. That's how Reels came on the scene. And really, initially, Reels, and just a little sidebar, if you're a Clubhouser, that is why, and you'll see, right, he was on Clubhouse checking it out, literally, Mark Zuckerberg was on there. Now he's making his own version of it for Facebook. So he tells us who he is, and we should believe him. So let's go back to the real issue of the matter. So with Reels, initially, it didn't have a lot of traction. Really, the TikToker, the major creators poo-pooed it a little bit, and it just was a little bit overwhelming for people. But just like anything else, it has grown and it's growing and it's growing and it's big. Now, here's what Facebook/Instagram does that helps most things grow. They put a lot of emphasis on it in their algorithm. So for those who want to grow their following, or doing a business or influencer, guess what? If you want to keep those numbers up or you want to get early in the game, you go to the new thing on the site. And Reels is what they've really been focusing on for the most part in the last 9 months. What's interesting about that is it allows you, whether you just join Instagram or you've been in it for a while, to get that extra push. So whenever Instagram adds anything new, pay attention to it. This is what I do. I pay attention to it. I study it. And then rather than just doing what everybody else does, because I don't believe that that's the way to go, right? We are our own CEOs, uniquely ourselves, and we should leverage that. I ask myself, and through the lens of knowing what I do, how can I use this for my business within the rules of whatever that new feature is? And then I also ask myself, knowing what you do, my people, network marketers, how can we leverage this for you so that you can use it to grow your business and still be true to you? Okay. And it's been interesting to see network marketers kind of dive into this because some are like all about spending hours a day, and probably the better part of a day each week really doing whatever the trend is on Reels. Others are like, I'm just not going to do it. And then there's a middle ground. And so I hope that you're going to get some great tidbits today that's going to help you really embrace the Reels for real and work it for your benefit. So let's first talk about, first of all, what does Reels do for your business? Okay. In algorithm world, let's forget about what you do specifically. Reels attracts new people who have not seen you before, who may not be following you to your page because Facebook in the algorithm currently is putting Reels in front of the masses. Okay, so that's one great thing about it. Awesome sauce, thank you. And that changes, right? They weigh it in different ways, and we'll go into that a little bit, and you'll be like, wow, he is a jealous lover. But that's they. The second thing it does is it allows people to see a little bit of personality from you. It's a little entertaining and get value from you. Okay. So you can use that reel to show them that you're an expert about what you're doing, about what you're talking about, and then reel them in. Yeah, I did say that. Sorry, that pun was not intended. Reel them in to then follow your page, to watch your stories, to follow your feed. Okay. That's for you. That's what it does. Now, here's the thing. Just like anything else, people think, okay, if I'll show them that I know how to dance to that, like, amazing song right now. That's awesome. And I'm sure that that reel will get you a lot of viewers, but we have to think about this as business people. Just because you get a lot of viewers doesn't mean it's the viewers you want. For you, I would hope that you would lean into doing a reel that has something to do with your personal brand, who you are, which does include your business, in different aspects and reels, so that the people who do see it, even though it might not be the big number that you get when you dance around with your cat, the people that do see it are people that actually resonate with you, that resonate with your brand, with who you are, that will continue to look at what you have because it's interesting to them. See what I'm saying? That's the difference. So we have to get away from vanity numbers of, oh my gosh, I got 1,000 views. I got 3,000 views. But it was 3,000 people who are never going to buy your product and are never going to join your team and are never going to resonate with you. Then that 3,000 number falls really flat. If it's 100 people that are into what you have to offer and into who you are, that's where the money gets generated. You see what I'm saying? I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. So that's an important aspect of it. Okay. Now, Facebook/Instagram, I use their names interchangeably at times like this. The powers that be, the Zucks, has become really clear on how this all works. Okay. In fact, they literally revealed to a good number of influencers or creators, I should call them creators, is what they call them, on how many times they should be doing reels a week to really grow their following. I'm going to give you like 5 seconds to sit down if you're not sitting down already. Or if you're holding, like if you're drinking coffee and it's hot, put that down, put down the baby before I tell you the number, because it might shock you. Now, here's the other thing. If anyone has ever done a reel, have you ever timed yourself approximately? How long do you think it takes? Average reel creation time for basic reels is about an hour. But I'm bumping. Why do I mention that? Because Facebook has come out and said, or Instagram, whatever you want to call them, has come out and said that you should be doing 4 to 7 reels a week. Now, I don't know about you specifically, but I'm going to venture a guess that you are a business of one and spending 7 hours, if you're lucky, on the creation of a reel. That does not count the time to think about it, put it together, post it, get them, whatever. Let's put all that time in. Let's say 7 hours. 7 hours a week, 4 to 7 hours a week, just on reels, not on anything else on your Instagram, not anything else on any other social media platform you're doing, not on IPA, reaching out, growing your business, helping your team, none of that. Just 7 hours, just solely on reels. And that doesn't even count the caption writing time, which is also important. Capiche? Is that time you're willing to prioritize? Okay. No more shocking things in this podcast. You can pick back up the baby and the drink. That's a lot. And so one of the reasons, just with full transparency, I haven't been talking about reels as much as I probably should be, is because reels has been this code that I've really, really wanted to crack. It's what I do. That's my one of my superpowers. When it comes to social media, I look at it, and like I said before, I look at it in the lens of how it can help you. Well, when I look at reels, I've been hella frustrated. In fact, many a network marketer has gone through my Instagram Reels challenge, and they've learned a lot, and it's been great. But the problem is that they cannot keep up with creating those reels and constantly creating those reels, and it's been an issue. And so then what happens? Then you think, okay, let me put a reel together very quickly. I put that in quotes, and then it's a dancing one that does not actually, unless it's, listen, if your business or your brand goes with dancing, then that's great. But if it doesn't, then it's not really helping you as much as you'd want it to be, right? Then you're spending all that time on a reel that didn't actually further your business. Picking up what I'm putting down, this is a problem. Houston, we have one. And so I've really been focused on how to crack this nut. I'm like, come on, Roxanne, figure this out, because I want you to be able to take advantage of the newest, hottest thing. But I want you to be able to do it in a way that gives you life, doesn't suck your time, that doesn't frustrate you, that's mildly enjoyable, that takes maybe 20 minutes as opposed to an hour if you're lucky. And I've found it. Well, found it, created it, whatever you want to call what made it happen. And that is what I'm going to tell you about in just 1 minute. But we'll be right back. Okay, I know we've been talking about the gram today, but for those of you who are Facebookers and you're doing your Facebook Lives, how are you stopping that scroll? I got to ask you, because stopping the scroll is the key, right? Stop that scroll, get that information out that you're wanting to get, and let people see you as a professional business person. Might I introduce the wonderful Be Live? You know that I use Be Live not only for all of my live videos that I do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, my live streamings, but I also do it for any trainings that are on Facebook and YouTube. And I also use it right here to record the podcast. What I love about it is it allows me to customize it. You can see my logo if you're watching on the top. You can see the overlay. And it also allows me to bring up, when I'm doing live streaming, bring up comments and questions and allow people to interact. It literally comes up on the screen. There's nothing better than letting people really feel that aura of she's watching me, she's there, she's listening to me, she's answering my questions, and we're having a dialogue, not just with me, but with the people inside of the chat, but it's all happening live on screen. It is the best thing ever, and I love it. And I would recommend highly that if you are leaning into those live videos, live streaming, that you take a look at Be Live. Would you like a free trial to Be Live? Sound good? How about 14 days on me? Just simply go to bit.ly/you Be Live and tell them I sent you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So the question of the day when it comes to reels is, how do we really get these reels done and keep our sanity and hit at least the marker of 4 a week, right? Now, first of all, I want to tell you this. If 7 doesn't fit your fantasy, as Cody Rigsby would say, don't do it. Honestly, don't do it. That just means that you're not going to hit these great numbers that Facebook has as quickly. And that's okay. We're all doing our own journey, our own pace. So I want to give you permission to say 4 to 7 doesn't work for me. But let me also pose this for you. What if you could make reels that move your business forward, that could be done in as little as 20 minutes? Would that be something that would be interesting to you? Well, as I told you earlier, this is something I've been really struggling with on Reels, is how to make it something that is time efficient for you, but still is quite effective for what you're doing and honors the rules of Instagram. And what I mean by that is this: when Reels first came out, they didn't care where or how you made the videos. In fact, most people were just taking their TikToks, downloading them, and uploading them in Reels, and Reels was fine with that. But remember the paradigm: Mark Zuckerberg is a jealous lover, and as a result, that they've changed that. He does not want you making your reels in TikTok and bringing them over. Now, again, we make decisions. For me, I have TikTok videos that were quite good and I enjoy and gave and were on brand for me. So for me, I'm like, okay, Mark, even though you don't appreciate that and I might not get as many views, I'm still giving good content and value to those who are seeing them. But for those of you who want to honor the fact that he prefers that you do some creation of your reel inside of the actual platform, I want you to know that what I'm about to tell you about takes that into consideration too. So what I've done with my team is we have created, and I say we because yes, the idea came here, but the actual creation, my team who knows how to create designs that are palatable and all the things, marketing and all that, have created Reels templates. Think about that. Reels templates. What does that even mean? Well, a Reels templates are a way for you to be able to go into Canva, good old Canva, and go in and create a reel that is completely customizable. And when I say completely customizable, I mean you can go in and type up any content that you want in it. You also have the ability to change the colors so it fits your brand and the style you're looking for, and also interject pictures they're you, pictures of you. Okay. And so what we did is I sat down and created 7 concepts that I wanted to have for you to be able to create these reels. Now we've been testing them and using them not only for time, but also for traction on the platform. And what I love is that they are getting more traction than ones you'd bring in from another site. And they're getting that the same numbers as the ones you would do while you're dancing around. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? Well, maybe you do, but if you don't, I highly recommend you look at these reels. So what I've done is I put together the first set of 7. And when I say they're customizable, not only they're customizable, but we also have prompts in there. So it gives you cues of what to put in. Now, again, I think about this for you as the direct seller that you are, the network marketer that you are. So everything is set up so that these actual 7 reels have different topics that are going to help your business, whether it's customer testimonials or tips on how to use something or your favorites. They're all done so that you're able to tell that story. And then you'll use them and you even get information on how to add the audio to them. So what I'm actually saying to you is you can make these reels without actually having to get dressed, without having to do your hair, without having to put on makeup. But the kicker is you still get your message out and people are able to connect with you in a really big way. It checks all the boxes, including the boxes of the fact that most people do not actually watch reels with the sound on. You know this, right? And so it allows them to be able to see your message if they don't have the sound on. Pretty powerful, very wonderful. And this is what I'm doing. It's so funny because when you have a brainchild and whatnot, you've got your people that you talk to about it. And I was talking to Megan Summerall because she's my business bestie, whatever you want to call her. And she was freaking out, excited about this. And I'm like, Megan, you don't even like TikTok. She doesn't. We did that. You've heard us talk about that before. And she's just now diving into Reels, but she's like, oh my gosh, from a productivity standpoint, as she is a productivity coach, she is like chomping at the bit. She's like, when are these coming out? I'm like, hang on. We're testing them. When are they coming out? She's like, get those out because they're going to be so valuable. And I know they will be. So this is what I want to do. If you'd like more information on them, or if you'd like to get them, again, you have 7 templates. Here's a great thing. There's 7 templates that you can use and over and over again and change in different ways. So it's branded. And yet think about it. You have 7 and you could make an infinite amount of reels with those 7. Now, the way I envision this working is this. I envision you being able to use these. Let's say you do want to lean into the 4 to 7 plan that Instagram would like for you. Then you can do 3 of your reels a week using the templates, and then do 1 where you're on camera doing whatever you want to do a week. So you've got 4, but you're only spending a lot of time on 1 of them. The 3 others you're able to do very quickly, or vice versa. If you want to lean into doing 7, you can do 1 where it's like, I took time to do this. I touched the camera and turned up in a different outfit, all those things. But then you have 6 that you can create that are done very quickly, but are quality and are still getting your message out. How's that sound? Okay. So what I did was this, in launching these, and I'm just giving you guys full disclosure, In launching these, I decided that for the first 50 people who would like to get these templates, I'm doing a special price. Okay. For the first 50. And then after that, the price is going to go up. You're probably like, what's the price, Roxanne? Just tell us. Okay, I'll just tell you. For the first 50, you'll get it for $24. I think that's pretty good, don't you? That's really good, actually, as you're going to reuse those. And then after that, I will take the price up probably to 35 is what I'm thinking, maybe higher than that. Okay, so that's the plan, Stan. If you would like to be one of the first 50, just simply go to socialstoriesmembership.com/reels. That's two E's, an S. Or you can go to the front page. It'll be on there as well too. But again, after the first 50, I will be taking the price up. You heard it here first. And I think you're going to love it. If you are looking at Instagram, if you are looking to get more people into your more followers. If you're like, gosh, what I need right now are more people in my funnel. I'm taking the word need out. What I am working on right now is getting more people into my funnel. My list is exhausted. I'm ready to engage with more people. Then Reels is probably the place on Instagram that you want to set your focus. And if that's the case, let's get you to a cadence where you're doing enough of them a week so that it matters and that you can get that going. The Instagram Reels templates will help you with that, no doubt about it. And who knows, there might be more coming out later, but let's start here. Let's start here. I know you're going to love them. All right. We will be right back with Behind the Scenes. When we're recording this, it is the 4th, May the 4th be with you. I had to say it, of May, which also happens to be my anniversary. Scott and I have been together now for 6 years. However, we have an argument on the date. He really thinks it's Cinco de Mayo is our anniversary. And I think he just does that because he can remember Cinco de Mayo. So we have this battle where I'm like, happy anniversary. He's like, it's not now, it's tomorrow. But it really is today. Come on, I know these things. Anyway, it's wild to think it's been 6 years. That's a bit of time. It is for me because you could say that I probably or have been in the past a commitment phobe. I think that's fair. Not that I don't like the idea of commitment, but just because for me, I'm committed to myself in the sense of like when it comes to relationships, I can depend on myself. I can do that. So it's been really like the 6 years of just like being in a relationship, like an actual relationship that's like stable. All right, enough about me. Anyhow, it's our 6th anniversary, so that's very exciting. And which means that Baylor turns 6 a month from now, which is also just wild and wonderful. We are getting ready to head out to the Bahamas. I will be going away, but don't worry, the podcast will still be in full flagrante this month. Been doing the recording, so you'll be able to get fresh episodes even when I'm on the sand enjoying the beach. Other than that, as you know, we've been working on special projects here to really help you, the network marketers. And I'm really excited because tomorrow, when this will be recorded, so on Cinco de Mayo, we have the fantastic DeSola Davis. You know her. She's been on the podcast, is coming to speak to my Social Stories members and do training on the customer journey. So we're getting ready for that and just really helping network marketers in the second quarter, and we're in May, really dive in and grow their business. I had a meeting, once a month, we do the elite members have a group coaching call. And we did that yesterday night. And I have to tell you, one of the, like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because I was like, okay, it's beginning of May. Let's hear your accomplishments, your wins for April. And there were so many, so many great things have happened. And what I love is not just with their business, but also in their personal life. Like some were celebrating the fact they were able to take a pause, and still their business was growing and rocking. Some pauses were pauses that were planned and some weren't, but still they were able to really see the fruits of their labor in that regard. We had some who earned trips to Mexico. Shout out to my Scout and Seller peeps, and just a lot of other exciting things. So when I see those make me smile, whether it's new customers, new distributors, whether it's crushing things like their Facebook lives or really dominating and getting Instagram working and rolling for them. There's just been a lot of celebrations and a lot of growth. And I'm super, super happy about that. Which has been fantastic. So I'm still kind of on cloud 9 with those. I always am. It's just exciting to see those, the wins. And that's not to say that it's always win, 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 right? All I do is win no matter what. I didn't sang the whole, it had to happen. But there's lows as well too. And what I love so much about the social stories community is that we are there for each other in the highs and the lows, and we take care of each other. It's just a special, special place. And I'm so fortunate that for whatever reason, I was deemed the person to be part of the vehicle for so many great network marketers to find each other and to grow and to have that community. Which I should say, if you're looking for that community, if you don't have that community, message me. Let's talk because social stories might just be the place for you. I yeah, that's where my heart is right now. They're my heart, so it's very exciting to see that happen. Also in my life, I you may or may not know this, but in a former life, or like I am whatever you want to call it, a wedding planner. Something that it's a long story, but it happened. And there's been one wedding on the books that has been, because of course I sunsetted that. But there's one wedding on the books that just hadn't happened. It was booked 2 years out. Then COVID hit. And so that was another year. Well, the wedding actually happened, woo woo, which is so exciting. Happened this past weekend, this Sunday. And it ended up being perfect. Perfect. Sometimes things happen and it's just the way it's supposed to be. Pared down wedding, of course, because of COVID. And it was intimate. The people they wanted to be there were there. So about 36 people there as opposed to like hundreds. But the wedding it was beautiful on the beach. Huntington Beach at the waterfront. And I had so much fun. Like all of my favorite vendors were the vendors who were working the event. So it was good to see them and just their work. And if that is the last wedding that I do, perfection. Very happy. I will say though, it's funny because I forget, because when you're wedding planners, you'll probably think, oh my gosh, JLo, that's awesome. Yes, it's awesome. But don't think it's not work, because it really is. And so I typically on Mondays, I've got the Monday morning is my time to get things done. And Scott was like, you're going to be like, you're taking the whole day off because you're going to be dead. I'm like, no, I'm not, but I'm taking the first half. So I got home. I was in bed after I showered and stuff. It was after midnight on Monday. And I literally laid in bed. I got up, I did make breakfast, and I did like get the mail, but other than that, I just laid in bed, I got my computer, and I was like working from bed. My bones were sore. Your muscles are sore because you're on your feet the whole time. But it was such a great feeling. And so it was worth it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, I had a wedding. That's what I did while I was gone. Or what I did this past week. Good times. All right. So that's me in a nutshell. I am so excited for you and what you have going on this week. Hey, if you have any questions, if you've enjoyed this podcast, you want to share it with someone, please do that. Pay it forward to them and let them know about Roxtalks. If you have questions for me, please don't hesitate to email me or tag Roxtalks when you've listened to this podcast on Instagram, and we will definitely put you in the story and celebrate you. We appreciate you so much. And you need to be reminded, just in case you forgot, you're not ahead, you're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be. I'll see you next week for another episode of Roxtalks. Take care.